I am ready.
Good deal. We have people on too. There's 6 on already.
Oh, wow. Okay, perfect.
It's really happening.
Nice.
Hey, welcome to a special presentation of a webinar presented by the Ably Group and Mailchimp. My name is Justin Starwood, your host today. And with me, I have William Howard, a Partner Development Associate from Intuit Mailchimp. William, thanks for joining me today.
Hey, Justin, and hey, everyone online. Thanks for coming, and I'm really excited to jump right in. Thanks. Great to meet you all.
I'm excited to have you on as well. You and I have spent the last couple months getting to know each other a little bit more through the partner program at Mailchimp. Why don't you talk a little bit about what it is that you do and who Mailchimp is?
Yeah. Partner development manager here at Mailchimp. Just tasked with the opportunity to engage with our partners, learn from them, and just overall just build success and drive business growth to their business, all the while supporting Mailchimp. Most of you already know Mailchimp as the strong ESP leader in the space, based out of Atlanta, Georgia. But some folks may not know the history behind Intuit's acquisition, so I'll spend some time going through that. Back in 2021, Intuit acquired Mailchimp, who owns TurboTax, QuickBooks, Credit Karma. At the time, there was Mint involved, but now all of these things have been combined into a nice, strong suite to empower the small business owner to kind of take it from taxes to business accounting, all the down to the marketing, so that we can have a strong support system for small businesses to thrive and flourish. Historically, Mailchimp served small businesses as the empower the underdog was our slogan for years. It's a company that's been around for 23 years. That's been something we've been doing successfully. And now we've kind of, having that Intuit backing, we were able to do that even more with more tools.
Awesome. Talk a little bit about what a partner development associate is, what you actually do to support, folks like the Ably Group, who I'll talk about in just a second.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, that we when it comes to supporting our partners, we kind of work in all facets from supplying the enablement support to go to market and find those opportunities to grow their business and really just establish relationships. We're a relationship building team. We're a goal driven team. That's what we do with our partners. We find commonalities and common goals, and we go after and secure them and accomplish them.
Awesome. Well, I'm so happy to have you on with me today. I'm, of course, Justin Starbird, the CEO and founder of the Ably Group. We're a full service marketing agency based in Auburn, Maine. And, we work hard to help support not just the underdogs in the small businesses, but our focus is in the business to business space. And that's what we're going to talk a little bit about today, how we support those companies deliver measurable results across branding, content development, digital marketing, and lead generation. In our experience, we've been fortunate to partner now with Mailchimp to to be that secret weapon, so to speak, and create opportunities to follow up with folks that have an interest in a business. And so today, I'm really looking forward to talking through the service offerings of Mailchimp, and then how the Ably Group and our team use those tools to deliver success for our clients. So with that, hand it back to you, William, to talk a little bit about some of the success that you see when people use your suite.
Yeah, exactly. Most Mailchimp users see about 39 times the return on investment by using our platform, and we serve about 12 million customers. 8 million of those are data-backed recommendations, and we have about 850 plus experts that we work on our platform. So we've seen a lot of history and a lot of success stories and metrics when it comes to using Mailchimp, and really excited to kind of dive in so we can see what are these 12 million people seeing? What are they, how are they getting that return on the investment? And that's where we kind of will tackle in and focus in on those main core buckets that we focus on Mailchimp.
Yeah, a couple of those are, certainly you have, some of those buzzwords today, AI powered marketing, et cetera. You guys were well ahead of that curve, years ago, well before it became a buzzword.
Exactly, yeah, and I think that's what, being a tech forward minded company, we've able to kind of get ahead and just stay focused on what we can do to like support our customers, and then also just stay ahead, and that way we can be there in the forefront once things start to blow up. And AI is huge right now, so really excited to dive in and kind of like where we fit in the AI powered marketing space.
Sure. You want to talk a little bit about some of the key components that you have, and features that you present for those 12 million customers?
Exactly. Yeah. Our platform helps you connect our customers and encourage repeat business and build lasting brand loyalty. Today, like I said, we'll cover a few components of that. That's automations, integrations, and how we optimize our work. And then also, I also wrap it up with Mailchimp support, and then take it off and lead into what we're going to talk about with you as an Intuit partner.
Yeah, and thinking about the first bucket, automations, it's certainly something that we hold in high regard. As folks come into especially a business to business funnel, being able to move folks from one place in that cycle, to another, or in that funnel from one entrance to all the way to close. Talk a little bit about what Mailchimp does to support clients.
Yeah, yeah. Here is a really strong tool. Intuit Assist is our AI built-in tool to help you personalize your marketing at scale, right? So you're able to create marketing campaigns in minutes with this AI built email and automation feature. Personalized at scale with about over 50 behavior-based triggers and intelligent recommendations to help you optimize your campaigns. And to wrap it up, using email and SMS, you can see about 58% higher click rate on both email and SMS if you use them together. And as you can see in the photo, you can see examples of how you can automate campaigns, create that AI generated content, and then get actionable insights from your work. So it's really great tool to combine those together. And later in the slides, you'll see a lot of that in action.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's something that is near and dear to us as well, as Mailchimp is a tech forward, company, as is the Ably Group and our team. That said, we also, work hard to help support that creativity. Sometimes, with AI, you get, 90% of the way there or more, but you always, want best practices for us and our clients. is, to be that oversight, making sure that we don't miss anything, making sure that you're still adding personality, making sure that it's still true to your brand. So as good, it's a caveat. I always say, we love the opportunities and what AI does for our clients, but at the end of the day, we also want to make sure that it stands out and it doesn't sound like AI too. So those are things that are also really important to us. And one of the things that's so great about Mailchimp is actually the ability to make those edits at the end. So you get it all the way through, and then you can make those adjustments based on buyer behavior, as William, as you've said before, but also what you know of your brand and your companies and what that sales cycle looks like.
Exactly. And yeah, next, and truthfully, to wrap all that up, in my opinion, we have our most popular feature, and then other customers have said the same thing, our customer journey builder. This is where all the automations live and where all that takes place. So with those automated emails built into the customer journey builder, MailChimp customers have seen about 115 times, 115% increase in click rates compared to those bulk emails you may send. So yeah, having those automated journeys, having multiple touch points, mapping it out long term so you know exactly what you want to accomplish with your customers, you're able to see a lot more return on investment and a lot more click rate percentages as you move forward. So to dive in, Mailchimp allows you to get automated with emails by triggering them to specific customer actions or dates. For example, maybe a subscription anniversary, a birthday, a welcome series, things you may do just to attract your customers. But for sustainability narratives, you may set up automated emails whenever someone signs up for like a green newsletter, or they make a purchase on the eco-friendly product, or they may attend like a sustainability event that you may be hosting, and that way that you can just say, hey, like you attended this event, love to kind of nurture you and make you a strong customer along the way. You can do that through welcome series, drip campaigns, all the things that you can take advantage of to automate your system. So I'll touch a bit about the drip campaigns because welcome series, really just kind of speaks for itself. But the drip campaigns are kind of that periodically effective for educating your audience over time. You can create this series of emails and that discuss different aspects of your narrative, and then you can take action towards different topics that you may be passionate about, so that you can have an overtime say, hey, like these are things that you're interested in, and that way you can capture their interest long term versus the one-off bulk email that you may be used to sending.
Those are some really good points. We started off on this conversation talking about, how could we help companies tell a sustainability story, or how could they, tell a specific, give interest about a product that a company has. So thinking about a business to business company, often they have multiple product lines or multiple service lines. So one of the ways that you grow and scale is by going deeper and wider with your customer base, with your existing customer base, because William, as you know, it's a lot less expensive to add services or, add a budget to existing clients who already know, like, and trust you versus trying to always be acquiring new customers every day. So again, you and I had started using sustainability as an example because of a talk I'd given, a little while ago somewhere else. And so, that's what kind of got this whole ball rolling. And what's so interesting, I find, is back to your drip campaigns. You have the ability, based on those triggers that you mentioned, to create drip campaigns based on each product or service, so that if somebody comes back to your site, even if they're an existing customer, you actually get some more data on them that you're able to include as they hit triggers in that workflow. And I know we're going to talk a little bit about that, but man, that's something I get so excited about, because it really provides an opportunity for you to be, personal with the list, especially when they come back to you looking for more insights and more information. So then your business truly becomes that trusted resource as they go through different buying decisions.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Yeah, I'd love to hear more about that from your perspective and how you accomplish it with Tag.
Well, we do that a number of different ways. And one of the things that is so important going back to, even acquiring new customers is how many times a buyer ends up needing to see your business before, making that decision to exchange money for service or money for a product or, bring you into their fold. So there's a recent report put out by, it's called Stacked Marketer, a newsletter we follow really closely, and Data Pilot, who they got the information from, and they said only 7% of respondents actually trust a brand after seeing it just one or two times. As you keep going, 47% of buyers need to see or feel at least 3 to 5 touch points before that brand starts to make an impact. As you go further, there are as many as 20 different touch points needed for a buyer to feel comfortable making a decision. So if you're thinking that they went to your website and they downloaded a white paper and you're going to send a 3-step follow-up campaign, that's really just the tip of the iceberg. And so, one of the things that's so neat about Mailchimp is it allows you to, create additional touch points. Back to your point, William, about the, text features or drip campaigns. You're able to combine those things and then also, bring them back to your site via social media or paid advertising, so that there are, multiple opportunities for them to see you in different lights. And therefore, building trust and credibility and, being that trusted resource and information, hub, if you will, to help them answer the questions and solve the problems that they're looking for. And so, at the end of the day, bottom line is, in order for a business to business brand to build trust, you need to be visible. You need to be where your customers are looking for information. And we're so fortunate to have this this Mailchimp partnership to be able to, see things through and customers through to the end.
Exactly. And that's a perfect segue into kind of what we can kind of wrap all of that up with, because most of you may want to see a bird's eye view of all these things you're taking advantage of, from all the campaigns and all the sequences that you've created. And in addition, the SMS tool and how to wrap everything together, and to see that long-term roadmap. And that's through our campaign manager, which is a really neat tool that we launched in 2023, where you can accomplish a global view of your marketing ecosystem, where you can manage marketing campaigns on one calendar and optimize based off of performance. And in our campaign manager, you can monitor all these touch points, tasks, and reporting, so you can have a simple source of truth as you navigate moving forward. And to add on to it, I'm sure there's a lot of you have known about our SMS feature. And wrapping up with our automations, this is kind of the icing on the cake when it comes to automating all of your campaigns together. You can accomplish one-on-one communication, maintain loyalty programs, and offer benefits to your customers. Offer promotions, or just in general, just keeping those like high-level touch points to saying like feedback or reviews, or just to gauge interest, and so you can kind of have those drip campaigns and nurture them along the way. And that way you can kind of find like what's common, what's an interest that these people are wanting to obtain from you, or just simply just send out simple messaging. And to highlight, users in the US have seen a 93% average deliverability rate with SMS. So it's really top notch when it comes to like sending and attracting new business through SMS and email campaigns.
We're going to have to make these slides available for our viewers and folks afterwards, because one of the things that's tough with these webinars is you're not able to capture some of the motion graphics on the slides. And, you did a great job, but it's funny, on another screen here, I can see the text moving and, the different buckets changing. So we're going to have to send this out, provide a link to folks afterwards, so they really get a sense of exactly what it is you're talking about and how easy it is to move things through the funnel and make adjustments in those funnels once they've been built.
Exactly. Yeah, I guess I can simply create, give a visual. As you can see, there's a send SMS button, and in our customer journey builder, you're able to kind of drag that over and say, hey, like we're going to send an SMS campaign if they have, answered yes or no to these questions, and or they'll get an email if not, or SMS text if yes. But yeah, that's a really great example, and yeah, hopefully, I wish you guys could see the visual, but it's pretty cool. But yeah, we'll send it out after.
Yeah. And then, we talk often about what happens when folks do go through those funnels, right? And the different options that you have in order to create success. Talk a little bit about the real-time data that you can actually then turn into, I don't want to say just action because that's what it says on the slide, but into insights and make adjustments on the fly to help the customers get to the end of that funnel.
Exactly. Yeah, to truly optimize, you can and make those data-driven decisions. We offer, customizable reports, AI-powered recommendations, and that way you can understand your audience and improve engagement through those reporting tools. For example, you can have a report on your open and click rates because Mailchimp analyzes, analytics can allow you to track the performance of your emails in real time, right? So you can monitor the open and click rates to help you understand, what topics are resonating with your audience. For example, if a particular email about like a new product or a new program that you're launching, gets out there, and you want to know like, what gets higher engagement, you can now focus on like what content resonates the most with your audience. You can also do like some different testing variables, like an A/B test or a multivariate test. This allows you to test different subject lines, content formats, and different call to action buttons. Because even in our space, when it comes to engagement with our partners, we like to know what works and what doesn't. And the same can go for you when it comes to attracting new customers and like keeping them engaged. So one subject line may say like click here to schedule a consultation, or click here to attend our office hours. Trying to see which one, A or B, would work. And long term, that way you can kind of tailor your messaging and your programming to say like, oh, we would like to do more consultations versus office hours, or vice versa. And then you can also see engagement over time. With our long-term analytics, you can help track those trends in engagement with your content. So as more people are clicking on your reports, or they are just more interested in stories or community projects, this information can help you, adjust your strategy to focus on your audience, focus on what your audience cares about the most. And to wrap up, your revenue reports and a part of your narrative that you're trying to sell, or engage with your customers. Mailchimp revenue reports can help you track how these products are performing long term, and you just gotta just see like week over week like how well this is performing, so you can kind of have a concrete evidence of like what supports this over time.
And that's stuff that we use with our information that we use with our clients, or try to every day. Sometimes it's more difficult when it's not, say, a e-commerce platform or some sort of subscription base where the payment actually happens offline or in a different way. But with Mailchimp connecting with Intuit's QuickBooks, you also have, not just to plug you here, but you also have opportunities to pull that data in as well. It's not always as easy with business to business services because like I said, payments might happen elsewhere, but you're able to, backtrack and input that information, or like I said, connect it to QuickBooks, and then, allow it to, connect later. You're going to talk a little bit about some other partner applications that connect right in as well, where you can exchange information back and forth so that those revenue reports become more real. And back to your point a couple slides ago, the central point of data, or real source of truth, as we like to call it.
Exactly. I think good plug into the QuickBooks section. Yeah, we'll definitely dive into the QuickBooks integration and how powerful it can be.
Yeah. I know that, we're not there just yet, but, we are talking about segmenting audiences and making sure that you're delivering the right information at the right time to the right people. Do you want to talk a little bit about how, you're able to create, pretty precise audience targeting?
Yeah, great turning point. But yeah, this is, to further optimize, a powerful segmentation tool can make it easy to target your audience based on behavior and interest, so that you can keep your emails relevant, and your customers ready to engage with you, right? So you can really focus in on those targeted audiences, to allow you to divide your email list based off of criteria such as demographics, purchase history, behavior, clicks, and just how long they're focusing on your emails. You can really see a deep dive into that and tailor your audience and your content towards those different folks. So for example, if you have a different narrative, let's say, let's go back into the sustainability space, and you really want to focus on supplying information about solar panels, or eco-friendly heating and cooling, then you really want to engage and target those different audiences differently. And where you may not want to engage with people that are not engaged with you at all, it can save you time and save you money long term. If you have folks in your audience that really aren't engaging, you can archive those contacts, or ask them if they're interested, or they can have the option to unsubscribe or resubscribe, or take a survey, just really based off of what you want to accomplish with your audience. Because I've seen a lot of folks downsize their list and save hundreds of thousands of dollars a year, just based off of just targeting those engaged customers through their email list. And the highlight, marketers see about 141% more revenue on average with our AI predicted segments that are built in. So just another way to kind of optimize AI and use it to kind of find and filter out the best list possible for you.
Can you talk a little bit about those predictive segments and what that means? Because of course you can go in and manually create tags and adjust your audience on a email by email basis. But what do you mean by predictive segments? What does that actually allow you to do?
Yeah, truly, it means that over time, the AI tool will go through and see what certain customers are clicking on, which ones are opening which emails, and then just predictively segmenting them out and saying these are folks who are interested in sustainability. These folks are interested in wanting to learn more about your other services, or be more of a consultative service. They want to you to kind of handle it just themselves, and take over ownership of their services, so they can kind of build out this plan of like, these customers fit in these buckets. So you can go through and say, okay, these are the ones that we want to focus on the most, and have more of a targeted campaign.
Yeah, that's great. And something that we're, admittedly, tag is still getting better at with our customers. A lot of times, that comes from creating more thought through campaigns for our customers too. So it's a two-way street. Often, it's certainly not just plug and play. There is work that needs to go into this in order to get to that, get to those results. But certainly something that we work hard to do for our customers.
Exactly.
And to go in a little bit further, we were just kind of touching on the advanced segmentation, some of the stuff that you can do manually, but also powered by AI now.
Exactly. Yeah, there's so much you can do with our system, especially to optimize and find the best content as relevant, and your best targeting system for your campaigns. And then on top of that, you can have personalized content. So using the segmentation tool, you can tailor the different messages to different subsets of your audience. For example, you might send detailed reports or updates to more engaged subscribers, or you can send introductory content to new or less engaged subscribers. So it's really a good way to ensure that each group receives the most relevant and engaging content. You can also do it based off geographic information too. So once people sign up for a Mailchimp account, this information is already in. So maybe the AI tool can go in and say, like, these folks are in the US, these folks are in Canada, these people are in Europe. So you can really focus on different segments of your business across different geographical regions. So for example, if you're in the sustainability space and you have initiatives on local or regional focus, or you may want to go global, segmenting based off a location can help you deliver highly relevant content to the right people.
Yeah, I think that's awesome. It's certainly one of those things that as you get better at it, you can start to see your engagement rate continue to climb. And we were touching on this briefly just a moment ago, but one of the things that is so neat about Mailchimp, especially having been around for a little more than 2 decades, is not just your size in terms of the number of customers that you support, but also the folks that want to work with you to help enhance the data, right? To help enhance those triggers that we talked about earlier that can create an event. And then to that point, create a more personalized experience to the end where you're able to segment to one and market almost at scale, one-to-one, using your tools and your application stack. Talk a little bit about, who you integrated with. I misstepped earlier and said partnership with HubSpot. And, that's one of the things that's so interesting too, is that some of your competitors are also some of your best partners.
Right. That's a really great segue. With our open AI tool, Mailchimp is open to the public, and we're able to folks can build upon our integrations, or you can have a strong integration partnership like we do with Shopify, like we do with HubSpot, because a lot of folks, customers, businesses use those tools to house a lot of customer data, but they use Mailchimp to optimize and send out those campaigns to make it a little bit more streamlined. And truthfully, they find that our tool is a little stronger, and that way, that's why they use that integration, because they want to house everything in the HubSpot CRM or in their Shopify store, and then that way they can connect it. And that way they can serve their customers more efficiently. We do have 300 plus compatible integrations and growing. Like I said, that API is open, so folks can come in and build upon it, or you can go through and have an established partner integration partner relationship with us. But this is where you can centralize, your critical data, including like Google Analytics, customer behavior data, Shopify sales reporting, and more. Plus, we have so many e-commerce integrations that have led to an average of 21% click rates for customers who connect their stores with us. And lastly, we offer custom integrations where you can build and tailor those things based on your needs. So really some strong partnerships I love to kind of highlight is Wix, something we secured. You're able to build your website directly through Wix on Mailchimp. So it's a really great way to integrate in that way. Like once you build your website, folks can click on certain aspects within that website, and that way you can see some call to actions and build your list and build your behavior triggers, so you can target them the best way possible. Also a good way to kind of implement our new pop-up form feature as well. So as folks are on your website, pop up a Mailchimp logo or a Mailchimp pop-up form, and that way they can subscribe or get a discount, or maybe just learn a little bit more about what they're on the page. Also, additionally, again, HubSpot, Shopify, WooCommerce, things that we can connect with seamlessly. But then also a new one, Canva. So a lot of folks are using Canva to create beautiful designs within their email campaigns, newsletters, pop-up forms, whatever. And that way that Canva and Mailchimp are integrate seamlessly, so you can upload that content and publish it out to your audience.
Speaking of Canva and your pop-ups, when you have a paid account through Mailchimp, you're actually able to not see the Mailchimp logo, so it is custom branded, so that it's just yours. Another, seamless integration, of course, is your own with QuickBooks. Why don't you talk a little bit about? We touched on it briefly a moment ago about pulling that data back to create a full, single source of truth. But what is it that you really do?
Yeah, exactly. And now that we have that back end of Intuit, we're into this whole product suite. And then there's a whole functionality within QuickBooks and Mailchimp where you can compare that customer data from QuickBooks. When it comes to getting your accounting information, or just different. You may even use QuickBooks as a good CRM for your company, just based off of customer logs and what they do, and that way you can integrate that with Mailchimp, so you can have a transaction history, invoices, and just organize all of your customers within Mailchimp, so you can build a unified customer profile to keep tabs on those businesses potential over time. And there's also implementing the automation, and also the multiple integrations that we use to kind of serve those customers long term.
Yeah. It's awesome. We're just starting to get better at that as an agency, to be perfectly candid, where we're able to pull data now or at least help our customers get to that point. We're doing it for ourselves, but now it's neat to see our clients doing that.
Exactly.
That said, talk a little bit about some of the neat statistics there before we jump into, how some of the case studies look and how businesses are using things.
Yeah. This is just a kind of a wrap up slide of all the things, all the core main buckets that we focused on today. So in SMS, I've mentioned that customers see an average of 93% of deliverability. So over time, you'll start to notice SMS, integrate within your campaigns. You're going to see a lot more return on investment, a lot more impact and engagement. Because I know my phone is right next to me, and if I get a text from Macy's or Nordstrom, then I'm definitely going to look at it and probably make an action and click something. So and it's also moving into the automation, the customer journey builder. Folks see about 115% an increase in click rates from our customer journey builder. So again, having those drip campaigns, welcome series, more tailored content. Folks can go in and say like, oh, this is relevant information. I'm going to click. I'm going to engage with your content because it's something that resonates with me.
Yep.
And then to wrap up, marketers see 141% more revenue from our AI predicted segments. So again, wrapping up, using your own methods to attract and engage with your customers and learn from them, but also AI built in can just see that holistically and give you a better predicted segment, so you can target them and see more return on investment.
So let's jump into how some businesses are currently using Mailchimp. Candidly, we are still getting better at integrating all of these things that we're talking about today with our customers or for our customers. Often, at the moment, we are in the process of helping them, build their house, is what we like to say. Get it in order. So we are using several of these. Tools from Mailchimp or Intuit, the QuickBooks, and now putting them together. That said, you've brought a few case studies from some customers that you've worked with that have had a lot of success. One of those being Canva.
Exactly. Yeah. Knowing Canva, we have a case study with Canva. They're a customer and an integration partner. I think it's a win-win for all of us, even as customers and even as someone that uses Canva for their personal life, able to kind of seamlessly integrate that with Mailchimp. It's pretty cool. But they've used the solution that they kind of found and that we found value in. They used our forms and segments to establish the main segments based on audience type and interest, and they gathered all that information through our forms, so they can give that tailored content and increase engagement. They used our A/B testing to kind of test different layouts in different formats. They used some data through our reporting and analytics to understand their audience, and then also just tracked audience sentiments and needs through inbox replies. So it's a really great tool. They've kind of wrapped up everything that we've talked about to kind of see a 3.4 click rate through their email campaigns, so they can see a lot more return on investment. And then a testimonial I love to highlight. We're looking forward to continuing and learning more about our audience and what they're interested in through Mailchimp. So one of the comms managers had mentioned that that's a good testimonial for their Canva partnership.
Yeah, absolutely. And we use Canva and are fortunate to use it. Take some of the images even that we use today to prepare for the webinar and
Exactly.
put them into Mailchimp and use them in our campaigns. Another example that you brought with you today is Talk London.
Exactly. Yeah, Talk London is a communication company based out of London in the UK. So yeah, they've used their customer journey builder and our API to kind of build out their journey and do some surveys. They've seen a 91% survey completion rate through the CBJ. So again, having going through that funnel of engagement and making sure that everyone is engaging with that content, they're able to see that, and then also integrate it with this custom integration called Drupal. That way they can have that customer data, have that information built into Mailchimp, and that way they can see a great return long term. And then 26% of those who completed that survey left follow-up comments and wanted to engage with them a little bit more. So great tools to use.
Absolutely. One of the things that's so neat is the calls to action, right? The
Exactly.
more clear and concise, the higher the engagement. That's something that we work on with our clients every day as well. Another one is Community Fiber, also
Exactly.
based out of London.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, a lot of international impact that we've made. We're a strong U.S. company, but we do have a global footprint, which is why a lot of folks internationally do use us. And then, this company, they use our segments and email newsletters to kind of go through and send B2B campaigns, B2C campaigns, to promote like referral programs, offer free memberships to their community, and that way they've also used some merge tags and tagging features to go in through and tag who's into the contract, who fits within these certain parameters. So again, it's another tool and tactic on top of the segments to get deeper into like who these people are, and that way you can target them more efficiently. So yeah, they saw a 67% open rate by using all of these features that Mailchimp offers, and a 24% click rate. So really great impact long term with this company.
One of the things that you mentioned, or that that we bring up because the first couple are international, is compliance, right? We didn't really talk about that, beforehand, but seeing that you have international customers and that you have a strong following elsewhere, what that means for at least tag clients or and business to business clients specifically, is that you can feel comfortable with the tools, and that Mailchimp is providing you with those options to make sure that you're compliant in the industries that you need to be, as well as the regional locations that you need to be.
Exactly. And if you do have questions on our GDPR rules, we can reach out to us, and that way we can point you in the right direction, because I know that's always a strong topic of conversation.
Yeah. Talk a little bit about Entertainment Group.
Yeah. Entertainment Group used our segmentation and customer journey builder. Again, a really strong case study where they, segmented by 3 audience types: fundraisers, corporate customers, and then some merchants, to further segment within those by audience interest. So again, a good example of what you can do to kind of find different groups within your audience, and then tailor it down a little bit more concretely, and then also build an automation to go from new corporate email to engaged fundraiser, so you're going to have that long-term engagement. So again, the results, they've had personalized content that allowed them to effectively speak to groups, and then also they've had some really great customer engagement through that customer customized messaging and emails. So really great, strong case study to user segmentation and automation together.
And finally, Barn to Door here in Seattle.
Exactly. Yeah, Barn to Door is a really fun company. They actually do optimization and marketing and business consultation for farmers. So yeah, there's a really great impact. They service so many customers and so many farmers, and again, those farmers feed us. So this is a really great kind of like top of funnel, way down of kind of seeing the impact. But they've used our QuickBooks and our B2D integration. So they've connected those farmers through Barn to Door that use QuickBooks. So they've kept track of their accounting, their customers, and they integrated it within Mailchimp, so they can send out those campaigns to those targeted QuickBooks customers. So yeah, they've trained farmers to use that data from QuickBooks to inform their marketing, like sending regular ordering reminders, creating those customer journeys, and speaking to customers based off of their post interaction. So it's been a really great way to kind of integrate with people that use our tools end to end, and also teach them how to use them so they can make more informed decisions long term.
Absolutely. That said, in addition to all of course, the technical solutions and the opportunities that Into a Mailchimp provides,
Yeah.
and here we are as a partner for Mailchimp to help you implement the tools that they have available. You also have great support.
Yeah, 24/7 support, live and email chat. So that way you can kind of get it the best you can get from our service. So if you're paying for a plan, you're on a free plan, or if you're on a top premium plan, our service team is here to help you. We do have exclusive phone support for premium plans, and then also certain plans do have a personalized onboarding, and also just a customer success manager to help you along the way. But in tandem, the support from our experts, like Justin and his team, can really help you optimize and just take advantage of all these different support options that we have. That way you can have the 24/7 support, have your customer success manager if you're at that pricing plan, or take advantage of that personalized onboarding for that first 90 days, and help with Justin's help, that I think would really set you up for success. And I think in the next slide, it really kind of hones in a bit more about that, lending that helping hand, and leaning on our Mailchimp certified community, because they are trusted partners with us. And then we just, that's why we're here today, is to kind of go and showcase, our partnership, and our value that we've seen in our partners. So I'm really excited to kind of have Justin take it away and showcase a little bit more about how they do it.
Yeah. So how does Tag do it? I decided, to put together a workflow that we use that integrates Mailchimp, and really some of the formula behind our success for our business to business clients, and how Mailchimp ends up being that secret weapon, as we call it. So the first thing we try to do is identify what the goals are for the business. What are you trying to accomplish? And the first thing that we do is we help our clients understand what are their biggest challenges that their potential customers are, trying to answer for. So thinking about your funnel, what are you trying to solve for, to your prospects? And then number two, transform those customer questions into white paper and content. But how do you do that? Well, we do that by breaking it down into themes and topics, and then use those themes and topics to create questions for an interview of a subject matter expert from your team. So the idea is to build credibility and establish trust from your business to business brand, for your potential prospects. And so by creating a series of questions and an outline, then we're able to, record an interview either via Zoom, or in this case, StreamYard, which you're watching here, and use tools like rev.com to transcribe those interviews. So even after today's webinar with William and I, we're going to send this to Rev and have it transcribed, so that we're able to give that to our copywriters or ChatGPT, and create 800-word articles or blogs out of it. From there, those topics and themes build up into larger buckets, or larger white papers, so to speak, if for your customers to download and use in exchange for gated content. So we tend to use a lot of human oversight right now. As good as those tools are, one of the things that we don't want to lose using AI tools is that personality. So thinking about business to businesses, and how you interact, sometimes it can get really sterile. And having these interviews from your own subject matter experts helps create personality, and we don't want to lose that. Once we've created the content, then we use Mailchimp to email our list, alerting them of new episodes, to drive traffic to that content, and making sure, to William's point earlier, about making the calls to action being strong, whether that's driving a meeting, or encourage a team to book time or more information on your website, follow you on social, or see you at a show. Those are all things that are really important. And number 6, we tend to implement a pay-per-click strategy, a digital marketing ads for you, so that then what you're able to do is stay in front of your customers, so they see you in more places. Going back to one of those slides earlier, where you may need to be in front of your customer 20 times before they make a decision, how can you keep them coming back to your website, and keep finding you as a resource for answers to questions that they may have? Then, going back to that whole create what we call gateable content. So then having using that white paper as a tool to capture information later. So using a Mailchimp form, for example, on your website, one of those beautiful pop-ups that that William was discussing earlier, and create another touch point and trigger. Maybe that would be a SMS message as well, saying, hey, if you schedule time in the next 20 minutes or in the next 2 weeks, then maybe you get a discount on services, or there's something else. We also used tools like customers.ai, ironically started by the same founder as Mailchimp, to uncover who is the anonymous traffic on your website as well. Then, to William's point earlier, creating those drip campaigns based on the segments that they're looking for on your website. So depending on the service or depending on the product that they're looking for, creating different campaigns for each one. And then at the end, we do stuff like this. We let our customers and our own clients be our social proof. So just as I'm doing with William and Mailchimp to say how great they are, we try to bring our clients on to do interviews on our shows, or help our clients bring their customers on their shows to talk about the big problem that they helped solve for. And that helps create social proof and opportunities to continue to engage future clients so that they can see that others have done it. So now you've created additional credibility and trust within the business. And finally, one of the reports that we've watched recently is that 25% of business to business customers find it difficult to find solutions for themselves, to be able to buy the product or services that you're specifically offering. So what we work so hard here at TAG to do is to help our clients gain trust, help them find their customers by creating long tail questions. So, SEO has changed considerably in the last 2 years. So what we want to make sure that we do is, as people are typing in prompts to either Google and Gemini or ChatGPT, that your website becomes an answer space for them, a location where they can gain insights. And now you become one of those resources and sources that they index when solving one of their problems. Then be flexible and clear on what you actually deliver. So often our clients, when we get started with them, it's not necessarily clear what they're actually solving for. So how can we help you make that better and more concise for your potential customers? And finally, leverage all of the personalized emails, the data that Williams talked about, to be able to scale to a market of one. So you may have 100,000 people on your list, maybe 1 million people on your list, but it only takes that one to not have a great experience. So how can we make sure that they're getting the right content at the right time and it's delivered to the right person? And we're fortunate to have Mailchimp as a partner to be able to do that across a number of industries. And so, William, really thankful to do this webinar with you, and thankful that you guys, chose TAG to do this, and really looking forward to all that's next.
Yeah, I appreciate it. And honestly, the partnership has been great, and collaboration has been seamless. And I really appreciate you and everyone that joined. So yeah, thank you again. And hopefully we can answer some questions.
Yeah, I'm not sure if there are any questions right now. So maybe what we will do is answer them offline, and we'll go ahead and, if anybody wants to schedule a consultation, they can do that at ablegroup.com/meet. And then, one of the great things about this partnership is that we're able to help implement all of the Intuit products, and especially Mailchimp, and make sure that they do that correctly.
Yeah, perfect. Yeah, thank you again, Justin.
Likewise, William, I look forward to our follow-up to all this, and maybe we have to do another podcast.
Oh yeah, I love that. Maybe a follow-up to this.
Yeah, good deal. All right. Well, thank you to all that are watching.